So now we're just going to have a look at tracks, and you may notice sometimes on your navigation screen that your screen may be cluttered with a lot of tracks, as you can see here. Now, good practice is to basically you want to turn the tracks on when you're wanting to save an actual track of a place that you're going to. So we'll have a look at the track settings now. So if you go into Info, Tracks, Active Track Options, so you can see at the moment record mode is off. So you basically want to turn record on when you're wanting to save a track. So you've got a couple of options here, fill and wrap. It's probably best to use wrap, which is when your memory is full, as you can see in this case, the recording will wrap over the oldest data and continue to record. Whereas if you selected fill, it would fill up that memory and then you'd have to clear it. So we'll go ahead and select wrap. So this is when you're starting to record a track. So we'll start by selecting wrap. And now the system will start recording. So basically your active track is as you're moving, it'll start recording the track behind your vessel. Now say for example you're doing an Armarine Crawley event up to the Whitsundays. So as we head out now for the day, we'd turn that recording on as we just did with the wrap button. And then there's a couple of ways you can do it. So if you want to record the whole trip as a track, so you'd leave that recording on, and once you get to Whitsundays, you can just hit the off button, which stops the recording, and that will save the whole trip as one track. And then from within that, you can go in and edit the track and give it a name and so forth. The other option is if you want to do it by segments, so say from Runaway Bay, just up the coast to the first leg. So once you've done day one recording, you'd go into record mode and then stop the recording by selecting off. And then that'll save your day one as one track. And then from there, that day one memory has been recorded as your active track, and then we go save active track, select save, give it a name and so forth, and now that day one is saved. Once you've saved that day one, come back here and select clear active track, and that'll clear your memory, and that'll be ready for day two to start recording again. So day two, you wake up, you head on your next leg of the trip, go back into active track options, turn recording on by selecting wrap, and then that'll record your day two as well. Once you're done for day two, come back into record mode and select off, and repeat that same step of save active track, and then you can save it as day two and so forth. So it's just a good practice to get into, just recording the tracks only when you need to. Otherwise, as mentioned in the beginning, you'll end up with a full screen of tracks and that'll clutter your screen. So we want to make sure that we're only recording tracks when we want to save an actual track.